Is this another live already? Amazing. How good is it going to be tonight? Just nothing but the best. Come on. You know, we got to always do our best, and that's what makes it happen. How was your weekend? Are you happy with how your weekend was? Are you enjoying yourself? How do I look? Am I cropped all right? Do I need to change your crop a little bit? I think we need some space above the head. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's add some space above the head. That's better. That's better. What a beautiful night. What a beautiful weekend. Man, met some cool people. Been doing some amazing things. Got some really cool plans happening. Just absolutely incredible, honestly. And we got a good one for you. So we've been working with serendipity for the last 7 days. And today is Sunday evening. Now it's midnight. And yeah, we need a new word. So what is that new word? Nothing other than SONDER. SONDER. And at first I was a little worried. I was like, I don't really know what this word even means. And I'm kind of angry about having to do this because I'm nervous. And that's my ego just talking to me, being an idiot. And so I thought to myself, no. I cannot let that defeat me. I need to go through that area of I don't know and just kind of learn with you, because if I'm not learning, I'm doing the exact opposite. And you want to always be learning in life. So yeah, tonight I want to introduce you to a word so powerful that once you understand it, your relationships will never look the same again. And like me, most people have never heard of it. The word is SONDER. SONDER. SONDER means this: the sudden realization that every person you meet is living a life just as deep, complicated, and emotional as your own. And when a woman understands SONDER, she stops reacting to a man's surface and starts respecting the world inside him. And as you know, everybody, we're going live every single day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. No reason not to, right? So I wrote 10 lines tonight about this idea. Every one of them is about how a woman can keep a good man, not through control, not through games, but through understanding. All right, number one, a woman who understands SONDER never takes a good man's silence personally. She respects the battles he fights that the world will never see. Number two, the rare woman who practices SONDER realizes a good man is not distant. He is carrying responsibilities he refuses to drop. Number three, a good man stays loyal to the woman who lives with SONDER because she sees the man behind the strength. Number four, when a woman understands SONDER, she stops trying to win arguments and starts trying to understand the heart beside her. Number five, a man will walk through storms for the woman who shows SONDER, the woman who respects his unseen burdens. Number six, the woman who practices SONDER does something powerful. She honors the quiet sacrifices a good man rarely explains. Number seven, SONDER teaches a woman that the man she loves is not just a partner. He is a lifetime of stories she has yet to hear. Number eight, a good man never forgets the woman who showed him SONDER, the woman who valued his character more than his convenience. Number 9, the woman who understands Sonder does not compete with a man's pride. She protects the dignity that built him. And number 10, love grows strongest where Sonder lives, where two people respect the invisible journeys inside each other. Let that sink in for a second. Because most relationships don't fail from lack of attraction. They fail from lack of understanding. Type in the chat right now, have you ever had a moment where you realized the person next to you had a whole life story you never saw? And speaking of stories, the internet is full of them. Now, we're going to react to some of the craziest clips floating around the internet right now. Politics, sports, weird moments, wild internet chaos. But remember the word tonight, Sonder. Every person in these clips has a whole life behind that moment. Think about this. We're watching 20 seconds, but that person has 20 years of life behind that moment. Just imagine. That's Sonder in real time. All right, chat, let's light it up. And as you know, we're going live every single day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications because no reason not to. All right, let's see. How is this one gonna look? Let's start with a little bit of those politics, right? Those politicians. All right, gonna find the frame right here for y'all. Make sure it's nice and tidy.
This exciting renewal this morning, I'm pleased to announce that on May 17th, 2026.
So President Trump stuns America by announcing America will rededicate itself to God on May 17th, 2026. Crisis King, do you agree with Trump?
That we're inviting Americans from all across the country to come together on our national mall to pray,
Bad Blue Obama,
to give thanks, and to rid.
How are you, brother? Thank you for joining in on the chat. I'm doing great, man. What a good day. Had a beautiful day today, you know. Got a lot of work done and enjoying it. How are you doing, man? How's everything going on over
there? We are going to do something that everyone said, like, that's tough. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. You know, a lot of people... Yeah, thank you very much.
We just reviewed Sonder, and Sonder is an amazing word. It's S-O-N-D-E-R. And it's a word that makes you realize that people have gone through such extreme situations in life. And it means the sudden realization that every person you meet is living a life just as deep, complicated, and emotional as your own. That's what Sonder means, S-O-N-D-E-R. I'll type it in the chat. So that's the word of the week. If you guys can, try to use it at least once a day, just to kind of test yourself if you want.
Yeah, that's what I mean by the Spirit. It's so incredible. To support this exciting renewal this morning.
And just so you guys know, we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications.
Morning, I'm pleased to announce that on May 17th, 2026, that we're inviting Americans from all across the country to come together on our national mall to pray, to give thanks and to we are going to do something that everyone said, like, that's tough. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. You know, a lot of people...
Man, he gets the crowd going. People just love hearing this man communicate. How incredible. And he's built for it.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good. That's what I mean by the Spirit is so incredible. To support this exciting renewal this morning, I'm pleased to announce that on May 7th,
just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Good for him. All right, y'all. This is something wild. Super, super wild. Let me show you this. Let me see if the frames are right. Yeah, the frame's okay. All right, so look at this dude's knuckles. This is so wild. I've never seen something like this. And it says hands versus biggest legs in the earth. Look at the dude's legs over there. That's unreal, bro.
¿Tienes sed, tío?
Un poquito. La verdad,
¿Sí?
después de
¿Tienes
todo
sed?
Buah. Hijo de... Es una pasa.
Dude just opened a can with his thumb, bro. Are you serious? Joe-san 7804 Grifters do grift. Thank you for joining the chat. Yeah, brother. Absolutely. Please explain yourself. Let me know what you mean. So what is that on his hand? Is that from punching or what's happening over there? And you can see the callus on this guy's hand, man. This dude is strong.
¿Tienes sed, tío?
Un poquito. La verdad,
¿Sí?
después de
¿Tienes
todo
sed?
Buah. Hijo de...
That's just unreal, bro. Just unreal.
If you don't want to...
All right, so this is a kind of an interesting concept, and this is remote work meetup. Bring your own desk.
Bring your laptop, this is what you do
How
to it.
cool is this idea?
Yeah, so this Friday at PB, I'm hosting a remote work meetup. If you work remote, come down to Law Street Beach, BYOD, bring your own desk. Obviously the attire is business casual. Bring a surfboard, bring spike ball, bring a football. I don't know, okay? I don't know what this is gonna be like. Probably gonna end up like Fire Fest. So yeah, Friday, 9 a.m., Law Street Beach. Come work for a few hours and let's see if we can turn PB into the best office in San Diego.
Plasma
If
zombie.
you don't
That
wanna
is
bring your
virus. Are you talking about what's on his hand? Is that what it was? He had like some type of virus on his hand? Tell me about it, because that was wild. It looks like almost like callus, like from punching a bag without gloves on or something like that. But it was on like the middle and the pinky knuckle. That's very interesting to me. Don't understand it, but thank you for joining in on the chat. Plasma zombie.
Laptop, this is what you do to it.
Wham.
Yeah, so this Friday at PB.
That's pretty cool, man. Just imagine that, man. Working remotely at the beach, like, you know, just think creatively, you know, like go try something new. No reason not to, right? All right, so this just shows like how incredible some people can be on Earth. So here we have a tennis player, and right above we have 4 little locations, and he's gonna call them out. So there's number 1. Bam, hits
You
it.
know how some players are like, I
Accuracy.
can't play today because of my racket. My racket feels weird, right? They're always blaming their racket. Wooden racket.
So he gets like a new racket, and then he goes down to like a wooden racket, an older one. Think of this mindset.
Jack Kramer.
Bam, hits the second one. Just gnarly.
Or they're like, there's my strings. Can't play today because my strings.
Here's another excuse. I can't play my strings.
My strings are too loose, right? Or the opposite. My strings are too tight. Oh, yeah.
Dude just cut up a bunch of his tennis racket strings.
Yeah. It's my strings. Out wide.
He calls it out wide and he hits it. Gnarly.
Or Something, right? The balls. The balls are bad, or, you know, the sun's in my eyes, or it's too windy.
Juicy Meister, wooden rackets always splinter in my anything you suggest, broski? Maybe get those away from that little sensitive area. Thank you for the comment, bro. We need those funny comments, man. Please like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, man. That is hilarious, bro. But if you don't have a racket, what are you gonna use next? Check this out, man.
Making excuses all over the place. Wide angle.
Bam, he calls it wide angle and he hits it right there. Juice Master, thank you, brother.
Why don't you just learn to play and stop being a little bit?
Why don't you just learn to play and stop being a little bit? And it cuts. Bro, this is just incredible, man. Like, you know what? I'm so stoked with this. I'm gonna share this link, dude. How do I share this? I'm gonna figure out how to share this thing. I gotta share this in the chat for y'all because this is a solid just mindset, dude. Like, if you got any type of situations going on in life, dude, just think about this. Juice Master, you're hilarious, bro. They should pay you for comments like that, dude. You should be the hilarious moderator. That was just fucking hilarious. Excuse my language. That was hilarious, dude. All right, speaking of gnarly things, dude, how many of y'all are into baseball? Because I'm not particularly a fan. I'm not a hater of baseball, but check this out, dude.
And another laser beam from Ballard. Backflip catch.
Dude does a backflip and catches and lands like a superhero. It says, I'm fully prepared for this to be the best catch I ever make.
Anthony Cruz, you're out of your mind. That ball was blistered. How he pulled off a rack flip, I do not know.
How, dude? This dude.
And another laser beam from Ballard. Backflip catch.
You know, some people are just so good. So good. And yeah, kudos to that, man. I respect that.
Welcome to the most productive office of all time.
So all these people are just kind of working on their laptop at the beach and, you know, taking advantage of the sun, the vitamin D, and getting away from those LED lights and those office lights and just being productive together. And who knows what else they're doing over here. And it's just something inspiring that I want to kind of show that, like, you can do some cool things in your life. You don't have to, like, follow the norm per se, you know. And do you guys know who Arda Güler is? This is a young gentleman who doesn't follow the rules but wants to win. And here he is on the other side of the half. He's on the defensive side of the half. And just have a look at what he does. Steals the ball.
Back where he is.
Look at how far that is, man. This dude is not messing around.
Where's the goalkeeper? But still, that is an incredible.
And who was it last time you were chatting about Lazio? Lazio just won, right? So this is incredible for Lazio. Lazio is not messing around. And obviously that's not Lazio, but just to let you know, Lazio is doing extremely well. Where is that other one that I'm looking for?
Yeah.
What's our frame looking like? What's our frame looking like? Come on, man. You got to center the frame, man. What is this, amateur hour? Angel Family Day proclamation.
Very important day for me. Should be important for everybody, including the media. But they don't really cover it fairly, I will tell you that.
Do you guys hear it in his voice? It seems like he's kind of very much in the zone of emotion and sensitivity.
Shocking. We're gathered here today for a truly solemn occasion. Throughout this hall, I am joined by heartbroken Americans who have lost parents, siblings, children, grandchildren, and treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration led in by the past administration. Millions and millions of people from jails, millions and millions of people from countries that we don't want to know about. Drug dealers, murderers, 11,888 murderers were allowed into our country by the Biden administration.
How wild is that? And people are supporting the Biden administration, and they don't like this man, Donald Trump. Some people, not all of them, but it seems to me like the majority of people do enjoy Trump. This guy is so mentally sick. Matt Brown, Sill 6336. Please explain yourself, brother. I would want to hear more. Absolutely. And so I think part of the idea of what's happening here is he's actively trying to find the bad people who illegally got into the United States and are committing crime, and to get those people out of the United States.
These are the angel families that we love, that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored, and I've seen it. When I first got involved with the angel families, I had a meeting. It was so sad. And they got up and spoke, and the media literally just turned off the cameras. They didn't want to hear them. It was
how wild is that? You think about freedom of speech and, doing great things, and then the media just decides to turn off the cameras whenever they start talking about things like this. So wild. Ursula Sue, a 14, still the president. That's true. Cap WNS, he's going to patriotically serve a third and fourth term before gracefully passing the presidency on to an appointee. It's what the founding fathers would have wanted. That's hilarious. Patriot Persian, we love Trump. Yeah, man, so many people love Trump. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because we're trying to make this world a better place.
it was my first glimpse as to what was happening. These are sick people that cover stories like that, or that don't cover them, which is worse. Everyone in this room not only suffered an infinite loss, they were the victims of politicians who put the comfort of foreign criminals before the safety.
Cap WNS, these people act like we have some statute welcoming immigrants in or something. Absolutely 100 accurate. Accurate you are.
Safety of American citizens and American patriots. Their stories were censored and suppressed like maybe almost never before, so that the politicians could open our borders and allow our nation to be invaded. February 22nd is going to be national.
Opened up our borders and let these people just brutalize our country that we fought so hard for. We fought for peace. We fought for law-abiding citizens. We fought for a good life over here. And an administration gets forklifts and just raises all of that barbed wire and lets whoever they want in, you know? What for? They don't really care about crime. They just want a few more votes so they can take control over a certain population. Come on, yo.
Angel Family Day. Very important. So many incredible family members and friends. We'll do this the right way. I want to give coins to the family, okay? Could I?
I had one for you, and I couldn't bring anything inside.
I know, Secret Service, well.
XDS JYG, thank you for joining in the chat. This is a day to remember all of the victims that were hurt by illegal immigrants that have committed crimes and have taken people away from their families, unfortunately. Ryan Danroth, 1,337 plans. That seems like far too many. Bro, you can never have too many plans. I love it, man. You know what? I might need to start taking some notes from you. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications because I might be learning something tonight. I might need to not have so many plans.
You'll get it to me.
Say hi to Trump, Emma. Hi, Chuck.
Hi, sweetheart.
Little Emma.
Oh, hi, Emma.
Little Kella.
Very good, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready, Emma? We're going to sign this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's a good one.
Matt Bronsell, 6336. Complain about immigration, or is it that a different Donald Trump? Are there two of them? Man, good question, bro. If you have any info on that, I'd like to know for sure. How many Donald Trumps are there? Heard someone saying like they need to clone Donald Trump and just make a bunch of them, and how amazing would that be?
That's a good one, yeah.
All right, serious question, chat. Do you enjoy listening to Biden, Kamala, or Donald Trump speak more? This is a wild one. What do you guys think? All right, let's see if we can get a good frame here.
We have in space, the satellites that are there for observation, for communication. I mean, these are the capabilities that are identifying the rocket launches, that are communicating to our forces and give America an extreme edge in this conflict.
Bro, I'm sorry. I might have read only the second part. Hold on. Complain about immigration, or is it that a different Donald Trump? Are there two of them? Maybe I don't understand your question, bro. Or maybe I'm just too tired. Can you explain the question like you're talking to a 5-year-old? Because sometimes I feel like I have the intelligence of a 5-year-old. God moved the bullet so Trump could deport Jesus. Deport Jesus or Jesus? All right, Matt Bronsell. No, bro, I didn't get it. Sometimes I don't get chats. Like, Bamboo Obama was chatting earlier. He's like, dude, did you get my chat? I'm like, bro, I didn't get your chat. And I took a screenshot. And maybe if, like, you say something about someone with an island or some sort of thing or one of those types of things, it might get blocked. So you might have to, like, do some tricky way of trying to get that information to me so I can actually read it. So I think your previous text was not sent, Matt, but I would love to know what you said, buddy. Sorry about that.
And that's the head of NASA, Administrator Jared Isaacman, with me on Fox Business' Mornings with Maria of Friday on the U.S. assets in space being used in Operation Epic Fury, now in its 16th day. Joining me now is Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired 4-star General Jack Keane. General, thanks so much for being here. What an incredible operation. What can you tell us about where we are in Operation Epic Fury at this point?
Well, we've been at this almost a couple of weeks now, and certainly we have made incredible progress here. We've stripped away pretty much almost 90% of the Iranian assets' ability to conduct offensive operation, and that's the obvious. Ballistic missiles, drones, maritime capability.
So it seems like they're disarming them so they can't do damage. All right, Matt Bronsell, 6336. Okay, guess it did not go through. Anyway, all good. The law he got lawmakers to stop, which would create a stronger border. The law he got lawmakers to stop, which would create a stronger border. Please tell me. That's wild. That seems like something something wild. I gotta research that. Do you have a name, or can you drop a link? Because I'd love to read about that, man. Thank you so much, Matt Bronsell, 6336.
And also, we have just destroyed their manufacturing capability as well. And by that I mean these are the companies, public and private, that would build the future ballistic.
Robert Blanc, 7578, legal. The lady welcomes legal. Not cartels, but you know this. Yeah, absolutely, broski. Absolutely. Yeah, bring all the good people to make the world a better place, to make the United States a better, stronger place. Don't need any of those terrorizers over here, man.
Missile and build the future drones. The mission is progressing quite significantly, and our commanders on the U.S. as well as the Israeli side are very confident about their ability to end this in a number of weeks. It'll take some time because they still have real capability there, and we're not going to finish until we take that capability away from them. Two,
they can end this in a number of weeks. The quicker, the better. That's a good sign, you know, that's a good sign.
Include what the Israelis are focusing on, Maria, and that is the organizations that really sustain the regime. The IRGC itself, the Law Enforcement Command, the Bajia militia, which represses the people, and they are attacking those militia groups that are in the streets at various checkpoints in various cities as we speak, and also the police infrastructure. So this is the mission plate that we have, and completely focused on it.
Capons, I think he's referring to the bipartisan bill that put a cap on asylum seekers allowed in. Trump patriotically told the Republicans to crush it. Cap WNS, all your presidents are related, every single one. It ain't a coincidence, bud, including Obama. Bro, you're gonna get me in trouble by reading your comments, dude. Canada in the house. Yeah, brother. Valerie Volkova, N3P. How are you? Welcome in. Oh my gosh, dude, you guys are too hilarious, bro. I gotta not look at the comments, dude. Oh my God. Thank you for the laugh.
And we have some time to go, but the progress has been quite significant.
And yet the Iranians have been able to hold the Strait of Hormuz hostage, General. I know that the president talked to us about what the U.S. military was able to do on Karg Island, where Iran exports its oil. But the president was very clear that the U.S. did not touch the oil infrastructure there. What can you tell us about what's needed to loosen up the Strait of Hormuz as the president calls on allies to join this fight? And what about the Karg Island impact as well?
Yeah, I understand the focus on the Straits of Hormuz. The media is focused on it, and it's obviously, people think this is a surprise. This has been in our playbook going all the way back to the 80s. Actually, we thought they would go after it, you know, on day two. It took them a while to get around to it. Listen, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to go toe-to-toe with the Iranians over the Strait of Hormuz. That's what they want us to do. They would love us to get into a fight with them, put some troops on the ground there.
Film technologist. Oh, you're talking about Iran. Valerie Volkova, you're listening. All right. Thank you for listening.
In Iran, deal with the Straits of Hormuz, bring Navy into it. They welcome that fight. They have a tactical advantage over that fight, to be sure. We're not going to do that. Our main effort is to take their offensive capability away. By doing that, the byproduct will be to free up shipping to move through the Straits of Hormuz and be escorted by Navy vessels. That is our main effort, and believe me, we are not stopping that main effort. The Straits of Hormuz eventually will be a problem that will be solved, but not immediately. On Karg Island, I think everybody has been educated now, is a major strategic asset of the Iranians because 90% of their oil flows through that distribution point. And what I believe taking down the military was all about.
All right, so to talk about that bipartisan bill Trump told Republicans to crush, referring to the bipartisan border immigration deal negotiated in the U.S. Senate in 2024, it became a huge political story because it had support from both Democrats and some Republicans, but ultimately failed after Republicans voted against advancing it. So what the bipartisan bill actually is a compromise immigration and border security package negotiated by Democrats and Republicans in the Senate. It aimed to address record migration at the U.S.-Mexico border by combining tougher enforcement changes to asylum rules, funding for border security, funding for processing migrants. It was tied to a large national security funding package that also included aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. What the bill would have done, emergency shutdown authority at the border. If illegal crossings hit a certain threshold, roughly 5,000 per day, the government could temporarily close the border to asylum claims, meaning the migrants could be immediately expelled instead of released. Faster asylum processing, more money for border enforcement, limits on releasing migrants, more work permits for migrants waiting on asylum. And the reason Trump opposed it was Donald Trump publicly pushed Republicans to reject the deal. And the critics, mostly Democrats, say the reason was political. They argue Trump wanted immigration to remain a campaign issue instead of being fixed. Ooh, getting into the good stuff. Honestly, broski. Great lead. Supporters of Trump argue something different. They said the bill did not go far enough to stop illegal immigration. They believed it would normalize high migration levels, so the disagreement was both about how strict the border policy should be. And the reason Republicans ultimately blocked it is because the daily crossing threshold to trigger a shutdown was too high. It allowed some migrants into the U.S. while cases were processed, and it included foreign aid funding tied to the deal. And what it would have meant to the U.S. for U.S. citizens, if it passed, some positives: faster deportations for denied asylum, more border agents, more structured immigration processing, potential reduction in asylum backlog, and some of the possible negatives would be some migrants still allowed into the U.S., more government spending. Critics feared it could institutionalize a high number of crossings. And so the bigger political meaning, bipartisan bills often fail because compromise angers both sides. All right. And so basically the bill tried to create a middle ground: immigration reform, stronger enforcement, but still allowing asylum processing. Great point. All right. And yeah.
Maria, it's really about messaging the Iranians. We told them in no uncertain terms, by taking down the military capability and not taking down the oil infrastructure, we can take...
Foxtrot Delta Tango Robert McSmack. Please explain yourself. Those are some cool words, bro. I have no idea what that is. And Momo Lele UAP. How you doing? Thank you for joining in. Yeah, good thing Trump did not let the Borden bill pass. Cap WNS. Sean Kern 2365 won't be happy until the new Ayatollah IRGC, but GS Shia militias and all collaborators stop breathing my air. There you go, man.
Got Cargallen at a time of our choosing, and we choose not to take that now. Would we take it in the future?
Cap WNS. I'd hate to see immigration have any kind of limit of the number of crossings, while also being able to retain the ability to blame immigrants and the border. Valid
Those
point.
options are there for the president. Likely towards the end of this, because if we take Cargallen, either we occupy it or blockade it, there's a number of things that we can do. It's kind of checkmate for the regime, because now we own all of their major asset. It's 50% of their budget, 60% of their revenue, 80-90% of the distribution points for their oil. So it is clearly
90% of their distribution points of their oil. Huge.
A strategic asset. But we will do that at a time of our choosing when it makes sense to us. And we've now sent a loud message to them that this is likely going to happen.
That's incredible. General, thank you so much for all that really important information. Always a pleasure. Thank you, sir. General Jack Keane joining us.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
So wild how all this stuff is happening over there, man. Sometimes you got to loosen it up, you know. You got to maybe add a little bit of soccer into these things, because you know, politics is great, but soccer, come on. Let me see what's going on. See what's going on with the greats. What these greats did in these times. I thought Trump just said he didn't touch the oil. Yeah, bro. You never know with these politicians. Like, they say one thing, they mean another thing. I'm not going to say I like Trump or dislike Trump, but he is one of the most entertaining politicians I've ever seen in my life, bro. Hilarious. And I'm just trying to get the truth, you know?
It feels good to be back. The Beckham factor adding considerable spice.
All right, so David Beckham and Roberto Carlos, incredible players. One's from England, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos from Brazil. Strikes the ball like unreal.
To an already heady cocktail.
That first season, I remember it being different because
Decent delivery, the header's in.
When the other team scored a goal, I remember seeing Ronaldo laugh.
This is phenomenal. Ronaldo, this guy. I don't know if you guys even know him, but he's a Brazilian striker, and he is unreal. This dude would not train. He came from the favelas, which is like a very, very poor place in Brazil, like very poor, high crime rate. Like, if you need to go up there, you need to bring items that you're okay with losing, because you don't come back with all of your items. It's just part of it. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher and you're dropping something off and you live up there. It's a weird place.
Seeing Ronaldo laughing and joking, and I was like, you're losing 1-0.
Beckham a little frustrated.
But he was like, don't worry, we're gonna score.
Do you see that do you see that mentality? He knows he's gonna score. You know, he's laughing, he's enjoying. You know, there's a whole thing behind this. Even though he's losing, he knows he's gonna score. There's something really strong about this.
Ronaldo involved here. On Beckham
Lusigana.
If we won, we'd go out or grab a beer.
A tomar.
This guy, man. He still eats like he's still training. Bro just like ate so much, and like he gained so much weight, but he's such a cool dude, such a lovable character. Nobody cares that he's fat, dude. He's just hilarious. Like, everybody loves this guy because his personality is just amazing, man.
Una cerveza o guaraná.
Or guarana.
La caipirinha, que David também lhe gostava.
And caipirinhas. David was a fan of those, an alcoholic drink.
Caipirinha. Divertida quando sai.
When a free kick was awarded, so this is Roberto Carlos. He has maybe one of the strongest kicks in soccer and football.
Uma falta cerca dell'área. Não sabíamos quem
We didn't know who'd take it, me or him.
iba tirar. Ele olhou.
Roberto Carlos, who seems to follow in his shadow.
Seems to follow in his shadow.
No, I'm taking this. No, you're taking. No, I'm taking it. Actually, you take it, because it's a bit far away for you.
Me or you? Who's going to take charge?
Did you love taking free kicks?
I love it. When the other ones let me take it, yes.
Luis Figo.
David Beckham!
Man, just the accuracy he had. Look how much fun these guys are having. That's Kaká just pulling down that little, I think that's Kaká pulling down that beanie in front of his face, and they're just having so much fun. Let me just
Jim
see
Carrey,
if I can show you what yeah, so this is Roberto Carlos Beckham. In this last clip, I'll show you. This is Phenomena Ronaldo, and this dude didn't train, just scored goals, was so fast, and I think he eventually caught up to him. So, all right, this is wild.
Jim Carrey.
I have no idea if this is accurate or not. Have you guys been seeing like the Jim Carrey thing? I don't really know what to say about this, but Cat Williams is like wildly spot on a lot of things. I can't say he's spot on with everything, but man, this is like this is a wild one. And if it gets too intense, bro, I'm just gonna cut it because I'm not ready for that intense stuff in my life, you know.
I believe last night at the Caesar Awards in France, making his big debut back into the spotlight. I'm gonna play it for you in a second, but I put, who is this? Because it is definitely not Jim Carrey.
Did you guys see that? Is that Jim Carrey or is that not Jim Carrey?
The eyes aren't even the same color. They don't even care anymore.
You did recently share that you're ready to take a break from acting. Can you elaborate on that comment? Are we really not going to get any more Jim Carrey roles?
This guy kind of looks like Jim Carrey.
I gotta get out of here before I slap someone. Seriously.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation.
This guy kind of looks like Jim Carrey.
I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side.
I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough.
The last time people laughed at Cat Williams, he was on stage talking about big deviance and warning that Diddy was going to pay a price for the things everybody in the industry.
How wild is that? He called the whole Diddy thing right before the Diddy thing happened. That's wild. Like, Cat Williams called it. And, like, within weeks before.
He pretended not to see. A year later, the raids hit. The freak-offs are in legal documents. And
okay, maybe a year later. Could be
suddenly that crazy comedian
don't trust people on the internet, bro.
Doesn't sound so crazy anymore. So when that same rumor pipeline turns its eyes to Jim Carrey, people pay attention. After exposing the industry time and again, he finally steps back. But the story takes a twisted turn. He reappears in France with a heavier face, a stranger energy, and eyes fans swear have literally changed color. Suddenly, the same internet that laughed at Cat's Illuminati rants is whispering that Jim Carrey, the guy who tried to expose the trick, might have been replaced so the industry can keep cashing out on his name.
But you know what? It looks like he might have gotten that like Botox stuff to make himself like not as wrinkly and try to look younger, but just like blows up his face. I think that's what it could be, honestly. What do you guys think?
While the real problem disappears. If Cat was right about Diddy, what does it mean that he's now talking about big deviance, secret contracts, and an industry that can even kill its stars and still make money off them? At the exact moment, fans are asking whether the Jim Carrey we just saw is really Jim at all. For years, Jim Carrey was the cool club. Then, one live interview at the Oscars flipped that script. He sits with Gayle King and doesn't hedge, doesn't spin, doesn't play nice. He says he was sickened watching the crowd stand and clap for Will Smith after the slap, and drops the line that made Hollywood freeze. Hollywood is just spineless en masse. It was a really clear indication that we aren't the cool club anymore. That's not a PR-approved reaction. That's a man calling his own industry cowardly on international TV.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack.
Just so you know, we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can get funny jokes like that from Riley's scheme.
Somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast
Oh my gosh, is this breaking right now, broskies? Hold on a minute.
I have spoken about.
Wait a minute. Let me frame this up, dude. What is going on over here? One of the greats ever on Earth, like one of the most hilarious dudes ever, Theo Von. Let's see what he has to say about the relationship between America and Israel.
About this before, but I do have a lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken.
Chat, I think Theo Von is one of the funniest guys in the world. I almost don't want to watch this because I don't want to bring light to this, because this guy is awesome and I don't want him to get hurt. Do we keep on playing it? Man, this guy is just a legend, man. I hope he doesn't say something too wild.
And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up, either by law or by worse. And I don't understand our government's relationship with Israel's leaders and with Israel's government. I don't understand it. It feels like there's this war machine, and then our soldiers are put into these spaces, and they're just there to serve an America that they believe in. And it's no knock against them or anything like that. It's just, it just feels like it's causing a lot of pain and fear. And yeah, I don't understand I don't understand Trump's relationship. I don't understand our political, why we are so beholden to this government, this Israeli government that just seems to be obsessed with.
Jason Boo, C4P, the world of the most peaceful nation. Yeah, man. Which nation are you talking about?
Control. And it feels like bloodlust, like they just it's not enough. After what happened in Gaza, I don't see how there could be any other view. They're making laws now. There are bills being presented where we won't even have a chance to have a voice at some point. There's surveillance infrastructure that's being...
Alfie Zaza, don't you believe in America? Yes, absolutely.
Put into place. There's a lot of things happening right now, and some people are like, well, it's too much for me to get involved in. I understand that. But yeah, I believe that if we don't speak up now, and it may already be too late, but if we don't speak up now, that one day our kids will not be able to. And it's disappointing to me too that a lot of our religious leaders haven't said anything. I don't understand it. And
Ooh, Riley's scheme. Theo Von is honest in a way Joe Rogan is too compromised to be. Man, Theo Von is a wild one, bro. There's no comedian like him. There's Theo Von, Kanye West, Cat Williams. These guys are just... I think Cat Williams filters himself, with what he could say, but man, Theo and Kanye sometimes just... Man, they say some wild things, bro. And they are hilarious, extremely hilarious.
I think this has been going on for a long time.
But I love Theo Von and his comedy so much, I feel like I'm almost getting a stomachache. I don't even want to watch this right now, man.
Do not understand Trump's infatuation with, or beholding to this government. But they've had Israeli government's been involved in America for a long time throughout countless political party leaders. So it's nothing new. It just feels very extreme right now, and it feels very scary. That's what it feels like. And I don't understand how our relationship with them is helping America.
Yeah, bro. Dang, dude. Dang. That's heavy, bro. That's heavy. Archangel 7444. Thank you for joining in on the chat. Trump is
Appall over everybody's shining moment last night. A lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
And it wasn't a one-off. On Jimmy Kimmel's stage, he walks out flashing that triangle sign over and over, tongue out, like he's trolling the very people who hired him. Kimmel.
Oh, man. Seems like the chat knows something. Seems like the chat. I'll tell you one thing for sure. I don't know a thing, broskies.
Plays dumb and asks if it's a gang sign. Jim stares him down and says, "Oh, like you don't know what it is." Then starts listing late night hosts as if they're all in on the same joke they're not supposed to admit. The audience laughs, but you can feel the room shift. For a few seconds, it doesn't look like a bit. It looks like someone pointing at the curtain.
What do you guys think about all this stuff? Is this like just weird stuff, or is there actual some type of meaning behind these things? Yeah, bro. Bablu Obama, thanks for joining the chat. Allegedly, there's a lot of conspiracies behind Jim Carrey, man. I've been hearing some things, and oh, buddy.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh. I like it.
So is that him kind of calling out or mocking, or what's actually happening here? What do you guys think, man? That's a wild one.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things, and look at him trying to come it up. It's hilarious.
From there, his interviews get sharper, not softer. They say this in playing the game forever. He calls red carpets meaningless, shrugs off posh events that everyone else.
Bablu Obama, I can't say something about Jim, but am extremely sure there is something wrong about Beyonce. Ooh, yeah, That's a huge possibility there.
Treats like sacred rituals, and you can hear something dangerous under the jokes. He doesn't need the validation anymore.
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like,
Gotta give credit to this interview because this is pretty hilarious here. Like what he's saying to this interviewer is just absolutely spot on and funny and actually brings people back down to reality. Like, who is an icon? Come on, man. We're all people. Which leads us back to this word. Sonder. S-O-N-D-E-R. The sudden realization that every person you meet is living a life just as deep, complicated, and emotional as your own. Sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R.
icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a...
Daniel Knapper, F5Q, when Jamala lost. When Jamala lost. Please explain, brother. I would love to know. Would like to know, please.
A wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry, you're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down.
So just to let you know, Beyonce's approximate earnings in 2025 were $148 million US, 148. And Taylor Swift's approximate earnings were $202 million, 202. So Taylor Swift 202, Beyonce 148 million.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
Then he goes for the jugular. In another clip, he starts talking about America, about Hollywood, and about how the real power isn't in awards or applause, but in controlling perception. He says this industry manipulates what people...
That's pretty wild. Like, just to bring that into the thought process, controlling perception, that's a pretty huge and aggressive and a rebellious thing to do. Would you disagree? Oh man, what did I just do, man?
People see rap's reality itself, so the public will accept whatever story it decides to tell. Coming from anyone else, that's a conspiracy rant. Coming from Jim Carrey, the guy who played the man, trapped in a fake world on The Truman Show, it feels like a confession. Put all of that together, and it stops feeling like a goofy actor venting and starts looking like a man poking holes in the whole illusion. He's not just cracking jokes anymore. He's telling you the people you clap for are spineless, that the hosts you trust to laugh it off are in on more than they'll ever admit, that the red carpets and statues everyone kills for are completely meaningless, and that the stories coming out of this town are designed, not discovered. If you're the kind of industry that survives on worship and silence, that's not just annoying, that's dangerous. You can't have someone at Jim Carrey's level telling millions of fans, don't believe the show, and I don't care about your rituals, without paying a price for it sooner or later. And that's exactly when things get weird. Because right after he starts saying all this out loud, calling them spineless, mocking their symbols, shrugging off their biggest stages, he doesn't just fade away gracefully. He comes back looking and moving like a stranger, and the internet starts asking if the man who burned it all down is even the same man we're seeing now.
So he became disillusioned with Hollywood, and he openly criticized parts of the entertainment industry.
The easiest way to see why people think they replaced him is to stop listening to Jim for a second And just look at him. When he shows up in France, it's supposed to be a celebration. Honorary award, standing ovation, the whole room on its feet. But the real noise isn't in that theater. It's in the comments. People aren't arguing about his speech. They're arguing about whether the man on that stage is even Jim Carrey side-by-side edits start flooding social media. On one side, 90s Jim, rubber face, eyes dancing, every muscle alive. On the other, France, Jim, heavier, slower, skin sitting strangely smooth under the lights, jaw locked in a polite smile that never reaches the eyes. The voice is softer, shallower.
Bad Blue Obama. Great point. Great point. But also, when someone is that successful, like she's the second top grossing female artist of 2025, the other artists want to be close to her so they can kind of become similar to her because everyone wants success. So I think part of that fear that people have whenever they get close to Beyonce is they don't want to disturb her so they can get on her good side. But what do I know?
Famous unpredictable spark is turned all the way down. People freeze the frame and type what everyone's thinking, but scared to say, this looks like a mask.
Jim Carrey, I believe last night at the Caesar Awards in France, making his big debut back into the spotlight. I'm going to play it for you in a second, but I put, who is this? Because it is definitely not Jim Carrey. The eyes aren't even the same color. They don't even care anymore. So there are several things wrong with this, but the first thing I want to point out is the eye color. Jim Carrey has brown eyes, but these eyes are hazel. Let me blow it up some more, and then I'm going to show you the comparison, and then we have some more to get into. Take notice, of course, of the eye color, but the nose, the skin, it's like no pores. Could it be a filter? Sure. Or, compression? Sure. But that doesn't usually happen. I mean, there are no pores on this face. To me and a lot of people, this is a mask, a skin mask. But we have more details to go over with this because this is insane. All right. So this is the comparison of their eyes. As you can see clearly, two different eye colors, right? But let's zoom in some more. Let's zoom in some more. So this is Jim Carrey, right? And you can see the way the eyebrows sit, how he has somewhat of a monolid. It's not quite a monolid, not quite a double lid. It's kind of in between. But then you just see, okay? Just look at the facial structure. Now,
I don't know. I don't know if these arguments are valid enough or strong enough. Wake me up when it's bedtime. To me and a lot of people, you're an idiot. Thank you for including yourself into the chat. How can I become a smarter person? Do you have any idea?
Cortison from the...
All right, so this is a fascinating one. This man, his best friend was a dog. I don't know if you guys like dogs. I'm sure some of you all do. But basically, they told him that his dog cannot be saved.
University of New South Wales join us now. G'day to you, gents. Hello to the beautiful Rose here, looking fit and healthy. Paul, incredible story this. Vets told you that Rose had just months to live, but you refused to give up and you turned to a chatbot instead.
Rose is my best mate, and she's been with me through really tough times, through a breakup, through hard business deals, walks in the forest. And when she was handed this sentence, I felt I had to do my part for her as well. Yeah.
So what did you do? Walk us through it.
Well, we took her tumour, we sequenced the DNA, we converted it from tissue to data, and then we used that to sort of search for the problem in her DNA, and then develop a cure based off that.
And ChatGPT found that
ChatGPT assisted throughout the entire process.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Have you got a tech background?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
That's just amazing. Pal, the RNA Institute is the one that created the vaccine for Rose based on Paul's AI code. Were you sceptical at first when you heard about this?
Surely.
I was a bit, probably mainly just I thought this might take too long. And I guess one of the things we learned from this process too, the technology, even though we've been working with similar mRNA for years, I just didn't think we could do this quickly and it would be in time to really help Rosie. So it's just been an amazing project for us to be involved in.
So how quickly did you manage to turn it around, turn it into a vaccine and be able to give it to Rose?
Yeah, so once we had the sequence that Paul designed, it was less than 2 months from that point till we handed it over to Paul, who took it to the vet to help her.
And Paul, how quickly did Rose start responding?
Right, so it took about a month.
Wow.
At the start of December, she was her mobility was way down. She was starting to shut down and be a bit sad. And towards the end of January, she was jumping over a fence to chase a rabbit.
Oh my goodness. You must be over the moon. This is life-changing.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I think it's.
Bablu Abana, be honest as a man. Tell me one thing. Doesn't past really matter of your partner? Does past really matter of your partner? Are you asking me for personal advice? Is this something that you're working on right now with someone you're getting involved with, or what are you trying to ask me? But a past of a person is kind of important. You know, if people can change, but it's very rare for people to change, and people need such great discipline to change. So it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about a business partner, a romantically involved partner? What's going on?
Added considerable lifespan and health span to Rose, yeah.
Pal, if this works for a dog, like if we now get excited about what else it could do, is there any chance this could reshape the future for treating, cancer in humans?
Absolutely, and there are companies, including Moderna, who are working on personalized cancer vaccines. But I think what this taught me is two things. We can actually do this here. We don't have to necessarily rely on foreign companies to help us doing this. That means we can democratize this technology in Australia. And we can also use it for other diseases, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neurological diseases, for instance.
Paul, I know Ali's got a really important question she wants to do.
So there you go. You can cure your dog with AI. And Bablu Obama, I got one for you, buddy. Have you seen this one before? Y'all ready for this? Yo, Jim H6254, thank you for joining in on the chat. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026.
Diablo, qué difícil, me la pusiste.
Bro was not happy with that, dude. Was not happy at all, dude. He's, oh man, it actually feels pretty good. It's a hot day, man. It's like ice cream under the arm, dude. It's not a bad one at all, but And the most popular sport in the world, soccer. What's your guys' desired sport? Thank you, Jim H6254. Wishing the best for you, buddy.
Brasil, valeu.
look at the style and look at the culture of these people in Brazil. This is just so cool, man. It's nighttime. They're like, you know what? These shoes, they're squeezing my toes. I don't need shoes. I'm going to go barefoot. I'm going to go kick the soccer ball around. Such an amazing sport. And they're so creative, like with the way they're just passing the ball. They use all the body parts. You know, that's just back of the calf. Their touch is just so incredible, man. And look at that, man. Did you see that little move? That was a little catch a turn. Catch, turn. Like, did you guys see that, dude? Are you serious, bro? Catch in the air, turn and pass. Like, these people, man, they're just unreal, man. Unreal. And you wonder, how are these Brazilians so good? When's the last time you've seen someone from a different country do this? Like his tactile skill on his feet is just so incredible, so advanced. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026. We're building an amazing community over here. Man. These girls have a better touch than some of these U.S. men's national team players. Unreal. And they're passing it with their collarbone. Did you see that? Chest pass. Dude, the dude just caught the ball with his back foot. How are these people even doing this, bro? It's just unreal. Unreal. They're all just making fun of him because he lost the ball there, man. He was just getting lazy, man. He was tired, He's jumping around a bunch, man. But this is just so cool, you know. Like if Bablu Obama at same time, and now you feel betrayal. What do you mean by that, brother? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. What are you going through, man? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And another way that you guys can kind of study and like become better at any sport is just by clicking that 0.25 times. You know, you just see how these people are like controlling the ball or swinging a baseball if you're into baseball, or swinging a racket. You know, just slow things down. And look how these people are just like controlling the ball and just having so much fun. I think the coolest thing is the culture there. They're all having so much fun together. Just absolutely unreal. I don't know about cricket, but I heard that the people of India love cricket. They love cricket. Do you like cricket? Do you have a favorite team? All right, so this guy decides to sell a house using ChatGPT. And for those people that don't like artificial intelligence or AI or any tools, maybe this will change your mind.
15 years in his Cooper City home, Robert Levine decided it was finally time to sell. But instead of contacting a real estate agent, he turned to the power of the prompt. ChatGPT.
I really wanted to challenge myself to use AI for the entire journey, not just piecemeal, every step along the way.
The married father of 3 says he used artificial intelligence for everything. The planning, the pricing, the marketing, even the paint.
We repainted a couple of rooms in the house because ChatGPT said that's where you're going to get the biggest return on investment.
How wild.
The most important thing it did for us was build out a timeline. Here's when you need to start packing your house.
ChatGPT helped Robert design the marketing materials like his open house handout.
Or is this marketing for ChatGPT because there's competitors like Gemini, Claude, all these things? Good to look at this thing from multiple perspectives.
And the online listing. Then told him how to get his home listed on the MLS, the multiple listing service, scheduled his showings, and suggested the best day to list his home.
We ended up listing on a Tuesday.
Turned out to be terrific timing.
And I think within the first 72 hours, we had 5 offers on the home already, which was tremendous.
The Levines still held the open house scheduled for that following Saturday, but by Sunday morning, 5 days after listing their home, they had a signed contract. A contract generated by, you guessed it, ChatGPT.
It's exceeded our expectations.
One thing that's important is always make sure that if you're buying or selling a house, make sure that your contract goes through your lawyer, your broker's lawyer, so you don't make any mistakes. So I am actually in real estate, so if you guys need help with buying or selling anything, it's always important to have your T&C people go over all of your paperwork to make sure that everything is done correctly. So it could work, but also ChatGPT and a lot of these AI and long language models tend to hallucinate a little bit, and you don't want to get in trouble when it's a big purchase like this.
Robert did hire a lawyer to review the contract and other legal documents, but other than that, his AI assistant did all the heavy lifting. So why did he do it? One of his biggest motivations was saving money.
We estimate that leveraging these AI tools will save us about 3% of the total sales.
This is what we're here for, guys. You know, we're going live every day at 2026, trying to make your life a better life. And yeah, man, use all the tools you can. There's no reason not to. You know, you have one life, and just try to do as good as you can. That's what's most important. And yeah, some of these things are like, I can't even go through these videos with y'all because they're too heavy like that. I was almost about to turn off that Theo one. That was a big one, you know. But yeah, that's a wild one. So just to do a little recap, word of the week is SONDER, SONDER. It means the sudden realization that every person you meet is living a life just as deep, complicated, and emotional as your own. It doesn't mean you're not special, but that's what it means. It's the sudden realization, the sudden realization. I'm going to type it in the chat, SONDER. And yeah, hopefully, you know, this word will help you. And it's very important to develop your vocabulary and your lexicon and to become very sharp with your words so you can cut through the fluff that is ruining your life. And yeah, as always, I love you. The Lord loves you. We're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. You know, after Ronaldo and Messi, Indian cricketer Virat is number 3 as sportman who has most following in Insta. Oh, no way. Indian cricketer Virat. We're going to have to look him up, man. We like learning new things, man. And there's probably a lot of cool things about the Indian culture that we don't know about yet, broski. Let's see this man. Virat Kohli. All right, cool, man. Yeah, if you guys like cricket, go check out number 3 after Ronaldo and Messi, Mr. Virat Kohli. That's cool, man. And he's got Bollywood actress, recently married. Congratulations. Hopefully they have a wonderful life. Looking very traditional in their clothing and background. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Cool thing about like the Indian culture is like it's so colorful. There's like so many colors within like the fashion. And let's see, are you guys even seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah, this stuff is pretty cool, man. Good for them, man. Yeah, shout out to Virat. All right, y'all. I'll leave it open for a few. If you guys have any questions, you guys can open to ask me anything. And yeah. Sonder. How wild is that word, Sonder? You know? Oh, he's got an inspiring story? That's cool, man. I love inspiring stories. You guys send me a link so I can review one of his inspiring stories and see how we can use the word Sonder. It's such an interesting word. I only heard it today. The realization that every person you meet is living a life just as deep as yours. Yeah, even Virat, he has a story behind those moments. It's really cool. Awesome, y'all. All right, well, thank you for being here. We're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and until next time, we will see you later.